go brownies, here we go. Here we go brownies, here we go. Here we go brownies, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go brownies, here we go. Here we go brownies, here we go. Here we go brownies, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Cleveland is the city and town, orange and brown. You know what's going down, we reppin' that dog pound. Fans going crazy, dogs want a bone. Offense headed straight to the end zone. Ground game, pound game, this is our season. Now we need to stop. Let's go defense, special team, running back 6 for the score. Extra point good and the whole crowd roar. Here we go brownies, here we go. Here we go brownies, here we go. Here we go brownies, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
What's up? What's good? Good afternoon, everybody. East, West, North, South, worldwide. And welcome to All About Sports 216. Wait a minute. Hold up. I gotta get something fixed real quick. Here we go. Welcome to All About Sports 216, Cleveland Browns pregame show. Today, here on November 23rd, 2025, as the Cleveland Browns take on the Las Vegas Raiders today. This afternoon, the game will be starting at 4 p.m. as I'll show off my little thing here. The game will be starting at 4 p.m. The Cleveland Browns versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Both teams have records of 2-8. So it's really, we'll see who really wants to win this game. Because, you got draft coming up and everything. So we will see who really wants to win this game for sure. Also, today is the starting debut of quarterback Shedeur Sanders of the Cleveland Browns. Today he makes his first start as the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, QB1. I have some thoughts talking about that. Also, we'll see if Myles Garrett can continue his pursuit of the sack record today. And hey, should be an interesting day today. Should be a very interesting ball game today and stuff. But first, it's a few things I want to do first. First off, I'm going to go here real quick. Things is screwing up and everything. Wait a minute. I can't scroll. Hold up. There we go. First off, the chat lines are open. Feel free to holler at me. The chat lines are open. Gotta change some things real quick. Let's do that. And let's do that. There we go. Gotta get that back right. The chat lines are open. Feel free to holler at me. The chat lines are definitely open. Feel free to holler at me. We'll be going over keys to the game on offense and defense, quick picks, my predictions for today, and a few other things as far as concerning Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns. Stuff. I'm starting off kind of slow today. Starting off very choppy today on this Sunday and everything. Very choppy. But what can I say? Today is the day Shedeur Sanders makes his starting debut as Cleveland Browns quarterback. He had his National Football League debut last week, which wasn't too great. I think he would tell you as it is too. It wasn't too great at all. It was the good, the bad, the ugly. And we really seen the ugly first. We really seen the ugly first. But there was hope for the future. There was definitely hope for the future and everything. And just doing a couple of things, stuff like that. But it was the good, bad, and the ugly. And I'm going to get into that in a few minutes and everything. But first, let me give you a word from my sponsor, Anointed Angel Apparel, and everything as I do this live read real quick. Let me get to it. Bang, bang, bang. There we go. Anointed Angel Apparel, where faith, family, and fashion come together. From stylish t-shirts and cozy sweatshirts to dazzling bling rhinestone shirts that shine with purpose. We design every piece with God at the center. But we just don't stop there. Discover personalized tumblers, beautiful photo slates, custom engraving, and even UV, 3D, textured home decor items that will make your house a home. In every design, Anointed Angel Apparel carries a message of hope, faith, and love. Because we're more than a business, we're a brand that's a family business devoted to lifting up the name of Jesus. Shop with us today and wear your faith boldly. Anointed Angel Apparel, where your testimony becomes your style. Email anointedangelapparel.com for a custom consultation. And I'm back. All About Sports 216 Cleveland Browns pregame show. Like I said, the chat lines are open. Feel free to holler at me and everything. Now, we're going to go into this. The Cleveland Browns do play the Las Vegas Raiders. Both teams are 2-8. 2-8. First year head coach for Las Vegas Raiders, Pete Carroll, in his first year. Both teams are parallel to each other in a sense. Both teams got a dominant defensive end. Cleveland Browns have Myles Garrett. Not the Oakland Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders have Max Crosby. And both have rookie running backs. Cleveland Browns got Quinshon Judkins. And Las Vegas Raiders have Ashton Jeanty. Both teams kind of parallel. Both teams have played in some competitive games and everything. Because, like I said, with the Raiders, I would say this with the Raiders, it's not going to necessarily be an easy win because this is the same Raiders team that held the Denver Broncos to 10 points, even though they lost to Denver. And I mean, they stymied the Denver offense. And a couple weeks ago, let's see, who else? They played Jacksonville tough and lost in overtime. And Jacksonville's pretty decent this year. Now, Dallas ran roughshod over the Raiders and everything. Indianapolis ran roughshod over the Raiders. But this is also the same Raiders team that beat the New England Patriots. So this is not going to be an easy win. It's not going to be an easy win. The Browns are going to earn this win and everything like that. Now let me give you some of the Raiders stats real quick. Geno Smith done passed for 2,082 yards with 12 touchdowns and a league leading 13 interceptions. Ashton Jeanty leads the Raiders in rushing with 554 rushing yards. Receiving yards, wide receiver Trey Tucker leads the Raiders with 502 receiving yards. Ashton Jeanty, by the way, also has 4 touchdowns. Trey Tucker, 502 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns. Brock Bowers with 455 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. Now, leading the Raiders in tackles is linebacker Devin White with 97. And interceptions, Isaiah Polamau with 2 interceptions. Now, let me see here. Max Crosby stats. Max Crosby, assistant solo tackle, 6 sacks on the season and everything. But with Max Crosby out there, the Browns would be well served to locate Max Crosby everywhere he goes. They'll be well served to find him everywhere he goes. What's up, Mike? How you doing, big dog? Said your money is on our rookie quarterback? No doubt, no doubt. I don't blame you. I definitely don't blame you on that. Shador gonna turn some heads today and everything. He's gonna turn some heads, Mike. Turn some heads. Now I'm gonna go to some of the Cleveland Browns stats and everything. Hold up, where I'm at? Okay, got lost for a minute. Cleveland Browns stats for 2025. Passing yards, Dylan Gabriel is the passing leader with 937 yards. Quinshawn Judkins leads the Browns in rushing with 620 yards and 5 touchdowns. Receiving yards, Harold Fannin Jr., tight end, 422 yards. And let's see, 422 yards, 2 TDs. And also, Jared Jeudy has 356 yards receiving and 1 TD. Now, tackles, rookie linebacker Carson Schwarzenegger leads the Browns with 85 tackles. And safety Ronnie Hickman has 2 interceptions. And Myles Garrett has 15 sacks. And can he get some more sacks today? We will see. That will definitely remain to be seen and everything. Overall, should be a pretty interesting game. Should be a very interesting game and stuff. I'll tell you who I got winning the game later on and everything. Oh, I gotta do something else and everything. I'm slipping today. Oh my goodness. I'm slipping today. As I go into my commentary and everything about what? Okay. There we go. Pink. There we go. I'm slipping today. But hey, anyway, that's how it goes so far for the Cleveland Browns and everything like that. Now today marks the starting debut of Cleveland Browns quarterback Shador Sanders. Shador Sanders is starting due to Dylan Gabriel in concussion protocol. He suffered a concussion last week against the Baltimore Ravens. Shador came in the second half last week, and outing wasn't so great. I'm gonna be honest, wasn't so great. What's up, Big Hud? What's up, Mr. Hud? Good afternoon, my dude. How you doing? What's going on with you? Shador Sanders' starting debut wasn't so great. Let's just be real. It wasn't so great. He was 4-16 for 47 yards, 1 interception, 2 sacks, a costly intentional grounding call, which kind of kicked off the Ravens' game-winning touchdown drive. He didn't look good last week. I'll be honest. He didn't look good. But it was a tale of the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, you start off with the good, because the good is that he did complete a couple passes to start off. But then the bad came when he started taking those sacks. Retreating, going south instead of staying in the pocket. That's something he is going to have to really remedy if he is to attain success as a starting quarterback in the NFL or as a quarterback, period, in the NFL. The ugly was the interception. That was pretty tough, was the interception. And he had an intentional grounding call late in that game. But more good came late in the fourth quarter. when he started a drive for the Browns where he delivered a 26-yard strike to Harold Fannin. And that's probably like the deepest Browns pass completed all year, to be honest. And he also almost completed a pass to wide receiver Gage Larvadain in the end zone, but outstanding play by the Baltimore defensive back, knocking the ball out of Gage Larvadain's hands and everything. But the ball was on point that Shador threw. It was on point. And I would say this for Shador today. Today, in this game, Shador, you don't have to be the guy that wins the game, but don't be the guy that loses the game. You don't have to be the guy that wins the game, but don't be the guy that loses the game by having ugly picks, taking 10-yard sacks and 20-yard sacks. Don't be that guy. Be that guy that looks competent back there, poised back there. And to be honest, through all the bad and the ugly, Shador was still poised and everything and stuff. He was still poised. And to think about it, through all the bad and the ugly, he still almost engineered a drive to tie the game. Imagine that. And think about it. He didn't have no reps, nothing. He just came in basically cold. Now, I'm going to say something about the quarterback rep thing and everything and stuff because I done observed different players who have played in the league. And all of them had different answers and reactions. Like, you have some players like Chase Daniel, who was a backup quarterback for a long time, says they never really got any reps as a backup quarterback number two. Then go through Dan Orlovsky. I seen him on ESPN. He says quarterbacks usually don't get no reps. Backup quarterbacks don't get no reps. But then I go to Cam Newton, one of the best to ever do it. He said Ron Rivera made sure Derek Anderson got reps. Interesting. Then also listen to James Jones, wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers and Oakland Raiders. He said during his Packer days, they made sure Matt Flynn had a few reps because Matt Flynn was the backup quarterback. They made sure Matt Flynn had a few reps. So I gathered my conclusion. And I said, I think it all depends on the uniqueness of the situation with each team, to be honest. The uniqueness of the situation. Some teams want to keep that perspective of, like I said, Ron Rivera, because I learned of a perspective, and especially when I used to work as a corrections officer, always expect the unexpected. Always expect the unexpected, because everything isn't bland and concrete, especially in the game you're competing, because anything can happen. Quarterback get hurt and everything and stuff like that. And I would say, as far as the Cleveland Browns, like I'm not going to dog Stefanski on this at all, but I would have said, even though I know when you have two rookie quarterbacks, you have to treat that situation uniquely. Where Dylan Gabriel is getting most of the reps, okay, that's cool. But make sure Shador get a little something. I ain't saying they got to get 50-50 reps, no. Not saying that at all, but make sure he gets a little something so he can stay engaged. And just in case of a rainy day, which happened this past Sunday, he will know what's going on. Because I think one of the main things with Shador last week, which he kind of caught up with later in the game and stuff as he went on in the second half, was the speed of the game probably was a little too fast for him. Beginning was a little too fast for him. But to be honest, you put anybody in that situation with no reps and they're a rookie and you're going against the Baltimore Ravens. And now the Baltimore Ravens defense ain't the Baltimore Ravens defense of Ray Lewis, T. Sizzle, Siragusa and company, and Ed Reed and company. But Ravens defense is still formidable. Still formidable, especially when you got Kyle Hamilton. They got free reign back there. And then you also got Ravens got some pretty good players on defense. So I mean, that was kind of like an impossible situation and stuff like that. But hey, it ain't about the reps and all that stuff now. It's about this week and this ball game today with the Las Vegas Raiders and everything. It's about this week and this ball game today. With Shedeur, all you got to do is don't be the guy. You ain't got to be the guy who wins the game, but don't be the guy that mucks it up to where you lose the game. You ain't got to be the guy that wins the game, but don't be the guy that mucks it up to where you lose the game. And think about it. If Shedeur gets it going, think about this. If he gets it going, because I don't understand the narrative with the media and all, the narrative in sports media of people wanting him to fail. And I've listened to people like gloating on whether he'll fail or not, like Rob Parker, Jason Whitlock and stuff wanting him to fail. I'm like, why? Why? Why would you want a young man to fail at achieving his dream? Really? I don't understand that. But I don't understand people nowadays and everything like that. I mean, it's really crazy and it's really weird and stuff like that. But like I said, Shedeur, you don't have to be the guy that wins the game, but don't be the guy that mucks it up and loses the game. And my expectations for Shedeur is moderate. Like say if he completes 16 out of 28 for about 175, 180 yards, and maybe a touchdown and maybe a pick, or maybe 2 touchdowns and an interception and everything, and he might get sacked like 2 or 3 times. Now the sacks, if he could take like a 2 or 3 yard sack, that's cool. But just don't retreat. Just don't retreat 15 yards back. Don't do that. Don't do that. And make sure you know where Max Crosby is at all times. Make sure you know where Max Crosby is at all times. Like I said, Shedeur, don't be the guy. You don't have to be the guy that wins the game, but don't be the guy that mucks it up and loses the game. Because then, Lord knows what may happen after this game, after that. But I expect this game to be a heavy run game for Quinshon Judkins. And the fact that Shedeur can go deep and will go deep should open it up for Quinshon Judkins. Because a lot of teams were playing 8-9 in the box against the Browns because the Browns didn't go deep. They did not go deep. But this should be a very interesting game. And Shedeur, you got your opportunity. You got your opportunity. Make the best of it, brother. Good luck to you. I'm going to go to the keys of the game with the Cleveland Browns and Las Vegas Raiders. Keys to the game. Where do I start first? I'm going to start on the defensive side. I'm going to go on the defensive side and everything because defense got their stuff together and everything. Try to neutralize the running game. Keep Ashton Genty in check. Let's not let him have a career moment today and everything. Um, Make Geno Smith uncomfortable because Geno is prone to throwing picks. Make Geno Smith uncomfortable. Communication in the defensive backfield is crucial. With Tyson Campbell and Denzel Ward, I'm not worried about. Now the other corners, Harden and company, I'm kind of worried about. The nickel corners, I'm kind of worried about. But with Denzel Ward and Tyson Campbell, I'm not really worried too much about. Because Tyson Campbell, since being acquired, he's actually played stellar since being acquired by the Browns. He had the one bad game against Pittsburgh, but hell, he came on short notice. So, and he had to go against DJ Metcalf. But, like I said, communication in the defensive backfield is crucial against this Raiders team because Geno will put it up. No mental lapses on defense, no offside penalties, nothing like that, and everything and stuff like that. And force some turnovers. The Browns have been forcing turnovers lately. Let's keep the trend going. Force some turnovers. Force some turnovers. Get Geno to turn it over. Get Ashton Genty to fumble. Get a special teams gaff or something on the other side. Force some turnovers. Now, let's go to the offensive side of the ball. Offensive keys to the game. This should be a heavy Quinshon Judkins game. Establish the running game. Definitely establish the running game with Quinshon Judkins. Get him going. More vertical downfield passing, yes. Yes. Think we'll get that with Shedeur. More vertical downfield passing, take a couple of shots. Whether you complete them or not, that'll let the defense know we can't cheat in on the run or cheat in on like the shadow routes. On top of that, try to cut down the mental mistakes, no pre-snap penalties. As far as false starts and whatnot. 4, no turnovers. No damn turnovers, even though I know you got a rookie quarterback starting for the first time. So, no turnovers. And 5, get Jared Jeudy involved many touches as possible. Get him involved early and often. Because if you get that man involved early and often, he becomes engaged. And then you have the Jared Jeudy that was with Jameis Winston last year on the Browns. Get Jared Jeudy involved early and often. And if so, we should have a positive result today. We should have a positive result. But it won't be easy because I'm going to be honest. The Raiders are going to throw the kitchen sink at Shedeur. Expect a lot of blitzing. Expect a lot of different looks at the line and scrimmage and stuff from the Raiders because they seen tape of the Baltimore game last week. Expect a lot of different looks, a lot of blitzing. Definitely a lot of blitzing and everything. They want to see if Shedeur can handle the blitz. Now, with a full week of practice, I would say Shedeur should look better than last week. He should look better than last week with a full week of practice and receiving all the reps. But I expect a lot of blitzing from the Raiders and locate Max Crosby at all times. Locate Max Crosby at all times. And the Browns should be all right. They should be okay if they can do that and establish the running game. I expect this to be a strong Quinshon Judkins game. I expect Quinshon Judkins to run, maybe have a good game. Maybe this will be a 100-yard game for Quinshon Judkins. maybe this will be a 100-yard game for Quinshon Judkins. He's only had one, so this would be a good time to have two to help your quarterback, especially a first-time starter and everything and stuff. You know, this should be a good, strong Quinshon Judkins running game. And also, on special teams, complimentary football special teams, no gaffes, no kick returns and punt returns for touchdowns like we did with the Jets. And no, the special teams just play sound. Just play sound. Your kicking game is pretty decent with Bjorkes and Andrew Smith. Just play sound. That's all. That's all we ask from the special teams. Just play sound. And hopefully the Browns should get their third victory of the year. Hopefully. But I expect a close game. I really expect a real close game and stuff. And I would say the team that makes the most mistakes will come out on the losing end versus the team that doesn't. So it'll be a very interesting game. And, this game would be seen by almost everybody because everybody's going to be watching to see what Shedeur Sanders does. But like I said, my expectations, if he go like 16 or 28 for like 180 yards, couple touchdowns, and a pick, he's a rookie, maybe a pick, I'll be satisfied. I'll definitely be satisfied. Now, we're going to go to the quick pick section of the show. Last week, I was 4-2. Overall, 32, 24, and 1. I was 4-2 last week. And we're going to go to some games this week that should be very interesting. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield go back to one of his old stomping grounds as they take on the LA Rams today. Interesting game. Tampa Bay done lost 2 in a row. The Rams are just rolling. They're just rolling. And I think it'll be an interesting game, but I think I have to go with the Los Angeles Rams. Matt Stafford has been on the roll. The Buccaneers have been injured. They haven't been healthy all year. So I'm going with Matt Stafford and the LA Rams to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 24-20. 24-20. Which takes me to Big D. The Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles renew their NFC East rivalry. Dallas Cowboys had Philadelphia on the ropes in game 1 of the season. Then the rain delay, the weather delay came, and then everything went amok after that and everything. And Philly barely beat Dallas. I'm going to go with, because even though Dallas defense has been struggling this year, they done made a few additions. They got Quinnen Williams now to help shore up that defensive line. They got Logan, I forgot the kid's name that played linebacker. They used to play linebacker for Cincinnati, Logan Wilson. And Philadelphia's offense, let's just be real, they've been struggling. And plus, Dak always lights up Philly. When Dak is healthy and available, he always lights up Philly. And I don't think Philly can check both Dallas receivers, C.J. Lamb and Pickens. So I'm going to go with Dallas to win this game. Be my upset of the week. I'm going to go with Dallas to win this game, and I've got Dallas winning this game 27-20. 27-20. Dallas would prevail, which takes me over to Kansas City, where Indiana Jones and the Indianapolis Colts take on the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. Kansas City is playing for their playoff lives. Kansas City Chiefs are 5-5. Whoever would have thunk that? The Indianapolis Colts 7-3. But Daniel Jones has looked at human in the past couple of games. Turned the ball over a lot the past couple of games. In this game, my heart says Indiana, but my brain says you're going to go with the Chiefs, Keith. Because every team the Chiefs have came into fruition that they had to play except Philadelphia, and they've had to play them at home. Baltimore, they blew Baltimore out. I picked Baltimore to win that game. With somebody else they played at home, and Detroit blew them out. And I picked Detroit to win that game. So today, I got Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs saving their playoff lives and defeating the Indianapolis Colts today. And it will probably be a 23-20 game. It'll be a close game. 23-20. I got the Kansas City Chiefs winning. Which takes me to the Windy City, where the Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Chicago Bears. Aaron Rodgers is probably a game time decision. Because, he suffered, he got his wrist, suffered a fracture on his wrist on his non-throwing arm. This game is interesting. Because Pittsburgh, when you don't expect them to win, Mike Tomlin pulls one out the hat. And this could be one of them victories. In Chicago, if Aaron Rodgers plays, there's a chance Pittsburgh can win. But if Caleb Williams can be efficient today, he don't have to win the game, like I said about Shedeur Sanders. He don't have to win the game against Pittsburgh's defense, but don't be the guy to muck it up and lose the game. And Chicago's running game is pretty good. So with that being said, I got the Chicago Bears defeating Pittsburgh 27-23. Got Chicago defeating Pittsburgh 27-23. Which brings me to the game we all want to see. The Cleveland Browns take on the Las Vegas Raiders today. The Raiders are 3.5, 4-point favorites today. And everything, the Raiders are at home. Both teams are 2-8. Cleveland Browns, honestly, their defense has played well enough where the Browns really should have about 4 or 5 wins on the board, honestly. Because the Browns have been in every game at halftime. Now, I might have ended ugly after the second half, but the Browns' defense has held serve every game just about. Just about. They just need the offense and special teams to help them out. And today is the starting debut of Shedeur Sanders today. He starts today. And today I'm going to predict that the Browns pull this game out. It will be close, but I got the Browns winning this game 19-17. That's right. Got the Cleveland Browns winning today against the Raiders 19-17. And expect a heavy dose of Quinshon Judkins today. And there it is, my quick picks. I only picked 5 games today. I don't even remember who played on Thursday night. I don't even remember who played on Thursday night. I only picked 5 games. But, hey, we'll see what happens on those 5 games. That's why they play on Sunday. Anyway, If you're not doing nothing later this evening, stay tuned. Later this evening, probably about 7:30, 7:45, after the conclusion of the Cleveland Browns Las Vegas Raiders game, about 45 minutes after the conclusion, check out the Cleveland Browns post-game show. Check that out. The Cleveland Browns post-game show. I have what I feel how Shedeur did. Hey, can Myles Garrett get close to that sack record? Hey, can Quinshon Judkins have that big game? And can the Browns get that big win? Stay tuned for the Cleveland Browns post-game show. Coming on probably about 45 minutes after the conclusion of the Cleveland Browns versus Las Vegas Raiders game itself. But anyway, that's about it for this afternoon. This is your man Keith Allen. Have fun today. Enjoy the game, and hopefully the Browns get that win. And hopefully Shedeur does well, because I want to see him do well. Because think about it. All these people is waiting on him to fail and stuff like that. If Shedeur turns out to be that guy, guess what? You ain't got to draft a quarterback next year. You can actually get an offensive lineman. You can actually get a receiver. How would Carnell Tate sound in the Browns uniform? How would the best offensive tackle available sound in the Browns uniform next year and everything? Because you got to remember, the Browns don't have no lineman signed next year. And DeJuan Jones, God's sake, I love him, but he's iffy because he gets injured a lot. So he's not reliable. And, you know, Zach Zinter, even though he's on the roster now, he doesn't suit up. So think about that. So it's best to hope that Shedeur can work out. For real, Shedeur can work out. Nothing against Dylan Gabriel. Hope he recovers and everything. Also, I want to give Shedeur Sanders props, because he has said something in the press conference early in the week when he said he didn't appreciate the people booing Dylan Gabriel and saying that wasn't cool and all and stuff. So far, Shedeur has said and did all the right things. Now, all he got to do is make it happen on the field. Do it on the field, Shedeur. And hey, you'll be that guy. But anyway, this your man Keith Allen signing out for the All About Sports 216 Cleveland Browns pregame show. Like I said, tune in later on today, probably around 7 something, about 7:45, about 30 to 45 minutes after the conclusion of the Cleveland Browns Las Vegas Raiders game. And I will see you then. Everybody have a good day. Peace out and go Browns.
Go Brownies, here we go. Here we go Brownies, here we go. Here we go Brownies, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go Brownies, here we go. Here we go Brownies, here we go. Here we go Brownies, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Cleveland is the city and town, orange and brown. You know what's going down. We reppin' that dog pound. Fans going crazy, dogs want a bone. Offense headed straight to the end zone. Ground game, pound game, this is our season. Now we need to stop. Let's go defense, special team, running back 6 for the score. Extra point good and the whole crowd roar. Here we go Brownies, here we go. Here we go Brownies, here we go. Here we go Brownies, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.